Welcome to the Sinner and the Saint. I'm Melissa Bell.
And I'm Allison Kane.
So I have had not one lick of caffeine today. I'm not sure what I'm buzzing
Really?
on. I know.
I would have thought you had had like 3.
Nothing. Just water.
Whoa.
I know. It's been a morning.
Please don't drink coffee today.
Oh, man. I was going to get one on the way home.
No, do not. Please. Don't do it.
Okay.
Y'all, she's on fire.
Fire! So, funny story. First of all, let's just say this. If you're sensitive and you get your feelings hurt a lot,
Just turn this off.
Change the episode. This is not the episode for you.
Yeah, because it's all about fun and lighthearted and poking fun at ourselves.
Yes.
But if you're sensitive, it might, trigger alert.
Yes. So the trigger alert, change the podcast.
Yeah, just go to a different one because we're just going to have some fun today and we're going to talk about church personality stereotypes.
So
because we've been threatening that we would.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I did not grow up in church. I have very limited experience with the church and the church people until I was well into my 30s. And so,
And I've had a lifetime of it.
So I was recently listening to a book on Libby or something. And I'm listening to this person's experience who grew up in a Southern Baptist church. And I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting. All of a sudden, I really feel like I understand why people think Christians are boring.
Yeah.
You must have listened to that sermon.
Don't you remember our former pastor talking about, like, in some of his messages, how he grew up? And he was Baptist. But it was like good old Southern Baptist. You know, like no movies, church every night of the week.
Yeah.
All the things.
Yeah. So I'm sorry if that was you.
No dancing.
There's a lot of Jesus is fun, honestly. And like, yeah.
I mean, there's stereotype. I mean, every church has a personality. And if you've been in church long enough, you've probably visited a few of these that we're going to talk about today. But just know that we're laughing at ourselves and one another and with one another, not at people. Because there's stereotypes in everything.
Correct.
And there's a reason for them, but it doesn't mean that that's how everyone is. We're going to just have some fun. We're always so serious.
But also, I feel like I don't know a lot about these different denominations. And so maybe you don't either. And maybe you're searching for a church because you grew up in a church where you had to go to church on Wednesday night and Sunday morning and Sunday night. And apparently, if you couldn't make it, you had to let them know. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's how I got paid in college, doing all the nursery keeping for all that Baptist church close to campus. It was great for a college kid.
I mean, I do have a family member that went to a church at one point. I don't remember what it was. Apostolic, maybe. Anyway, we'll get into that. Anyways, so maybe you're going to find a church you like, and I'm going to learn something, but maybe you're going to find a church that resonates with you throughout all of this fun and humor.
Yeah, I just read this one on Reformed. I don't even know what I've never even heard of that, the Reformed church. But it said, if you don't come for theology, you're about to get it anyway. I was like, yes, please. Sermons are less talk and more full-length documentary. Yes, please. You would leave knowing God is sovereign and possibly slightly intimidated. Yes, please. I'm like, maybe I should try this kind of church.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I want like meat in my message, you know. So anyway.
So that's funny you say meat because that means different things to different people, right?
That's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. Yeah. Well, I think we should start with Baptist since we already did start with Baptist.
I didn't mean to, but I think that's what I'm most familiar with.
Well, we are in the South. I mean, I did not grow up Baptist, but let's start there. We knew a lot of Baptist people. And one of the things they say is if you grew up Baptist, you've been baptized at least twice, just to be sure. Like if there's water, somebody's getting in. It's kind of what they would.
Oh my gosh. So when I have heard the stereotype of Baptist, you're a closet drinker.
Oh, yeah. We had neighbors that were Baptist when we were first married, and they drank occasionally, like a beer and wine. And when their church friends would come over, they would bring it to our house.
Oh.
And I'm like, I don't think I could ever go to a church where I couldn't be myself.
I literally have a full bar in my house right now. I have a speakeasy with a bar in it.
You're definitely not going to be Baptist. I thought that was the strangest thing. I'm like, I don't ever want to go to a church where I have to pretend to be something I'm not. But another thing about Baptist, which could kind of be anybody in the South, honestly, but potlucks could solve world hunger if they would just invite more people. Like, legit, like, full-on potluck, you know.
Wait,
whoa.
This potluck is sponsored by Duke's Mayonnaise.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
My daughter and I were at a tea house yesterday having lunch, and she's like, what is macaroni salad? And I was like, I think it's just elbow pasta with mayonnaise on it.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe, and maybe some chow chow thrown in.
Ew, I don't know what that is. So, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, someone did say one time that about Baptists, like, we don't drink unless it's sweet tea with enough sugar in it to qualify it as a dessert.
Oh, my gosh.
But that was like the good Baptist. But it could get, I think there's different, obviously, even within Baptist, there are different levels of severity.
So this particular book I was listening to, she talked about Super Bowl Sunday, and she said, on Super Bowl Sunday, our pastor said, there is a game tonight, and if you're a good Christian, you will come to church instead. Because God's not going to ask you when you get to the gates of heaven.
Oh, wow.
Who won the 19 whatever Super Bowl.
Well, he definitely won't, but
also
wow.
The guilt. And she's like, so there
Wow.
I was on Sunday night in the church pew, wondering why we can't eat all those delicious appetizers.
Absolutely.
And have a good time.
All that sausage and cream cheese dip.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It could be pretty hardcore. And I was definitely offended through a few Baptist sermons that I sat through. But I think that's because I grew up Methodist. And Methodist has its own stereotype.
Okay, so this is hysterical. I know nothing about the Methodist Church. However, early on in my divorce from my first husband, I was looking for a preschool for my son. And I said, well, there's this little church down the street, and my ex-husband lives in another state. I'm just trying to find childcare for my kid. I'm paying for all of it. Why? I asked him because I was young and dumb.
Right.
Anyway, and I said, well, it's at this little United Methodist church. You can't bring them to a Methodist church. You can't do that. They're crazy.
What? And why did he say that? Did he
no-
ever explain?
No.
So I think Methodists have this reputation for being like really laissez-faire about, like, laid back about.
Okay, these are my people.
Yeah, like the
Laid back.
definitely compared to Baptists, it's like, well, it's just not that deep unless it comes to like committees, like so passionate, but in a very calm, well-documented way.
Oh,
like,
hysterical.
They need a committee for things.
That's great.
And it's interesting because, you know,
Were you on a committee?
no, my parents always were, though. And one of the things is like, if something needs to be done, don't worry. We've already scheduled a meeting about scheduling a meeting.
But are there snacks?
Oh yeah, we had good food.
There
But
you go.
again, South.
Right.
So it's hard to discern for me. Is that just a Southern thing, or is that a church thing? You know, or a Southern church thing.
Oh.
It's one of the other things about Methodist says we love structure so much we tried to organize the Holy Spirit. But I do think like there's structure and there's meetings and there's things like that. I think the focus can tend to be on the wrong things.
Right.
That can be the stereotype.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But a little loosey-goosey about like, oh, it's fine. Like if you want to, whatever about a movie. Whatever about having drinks.
Oh.
Whatever about whatever.
Legitimate, like, you can't, Baptist, you cannot play cards.
Right.
Girls cannot wear shorts.
And like, not so much now.
Right. You couldn't swim in the pool where the boys were swimming.
Yeah. It was hardcore back then. Like, you couldn't even go to a movie.
Yes. No
back
movies.
in the day. You know, so... And that's probably why the Baptists thought the Methodists were heathens.
Right.
Because we're like, oh, it's fine. We'll schedule a meeting about that and talk about it. But I think we're all going to a movie
And
tonight.
maybe they were jealous because they couldn't go to a movie
Exactly.
on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
The Sunday matinee was not their thing.
I was an acolyte.
What does that mean?
those, as an acolyte, so you get to put on a special robe.
Ooh.
And you walk down with a little candelabra lighting thing. And so much pressure. You had to reach up to the candles. There was one on each side, two of you. And my friend Jenny and I used to always do it together. And you light the 3 candles on each side. And then you'd go sit up like next to the choir. Oh. And you'd have to be really still. But it was a great way to like keep us in the church service, you know?
Yeah. You had a very important job.
Yeah. Yeah. Very, very important. So then there's Presbyterian.
Okay. I have a little bit of experience with Presbyterian.
Okay.
For a while, my mom was in the choir. And the church was right down the street.
Presbyterian church?
Yep, in a robe.
Oh.
And our job was to like...
That sounds about right.
We were 2 blocks away. So I would turn the page for the organ player.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That is so cool.
Do you know how I knew it was time to turn the page?
How?
He would be like clanging. And he would go, turn the page.
Oh my gosh.
Turn the page.
He would just say it out loud.
He was like 80 years old.
Oh my gosh. And so you turn it.
Yep.
What a memory.
That's the only memory I have at church.
Wow. That's kind of a cool one.
Right? It was Chuck. Me and Chuck. Turn the page.
I wonder what old Chuck's doing in heaven.
Well, I mean, we did have a good time. And we did spend the most time at that church because my mom wanted to get rid of us. So we would do whatever night they fed us. We went there.
Well, heck yeah.
Yeah.
And they have good eats at churches usually.
Right. And then I remember... you had a bulletin, like all churches maybe have bulletins.
For 100%, yeah.
And so the pastor would say something in
and then you
bold,
repeat it.
and then you say whatever.
Yep.
I was like, wow, very scripted.
That's Methodist too. It's like their liturgy, but they didn't make you look it up in a book like some, like Catholics.
Okay.
Like they have books that you look that stuff up in. Well, it says that the Presbyterians... believe they are chosen by God and low-key aware of it.
Okay. No one ever told me this. I would have totally like pimped that idea. I would have been very different in elementary school had I known I was chosen.
I don't really know many Presbyterians, so I'm just... Emotional expressions range from slight smile to slightly bigger smile. So like not like super...
I can promise you...
charismatic, I guess.
No, but we were definitely... It was my grandmother's church, and so we were probably the project of that church. It was like, oh, here they come.
Oh, they were loving on you. Like, project, you make it sound bad.
It was kind of like, keep your eyes on that one.
Oh.
When they pass the plate, make sure they don't take the money out of it.
Oh. They were probably thankful that they got to love on your family.
Maybe.
Yeah. It says their sermons might challenge your soul, but not your comfort level. So it sounds like they're not going to make you feel uncomfortable. They're going to make you feel very welcome. And then there's Catholic.
I went to one Catholic service one time. All I know is they have like a thing that you kneel down onto.
Yeah. We actually had that in the Methodist church. We would kneel during prayer at one point, but nothing like Catholics. Catholics, like, it's the only workout where you stand, sit, kneel, and still leave feeling like you didn't burn any calories. You know? I remember my first experience with a Catholic service was a wedding that I went to. And there was so much movement. I mean, I was used to going in, sitting in a pew. We would like kneel down for a short prayer, and then that was it. Maybe stand for a hymn. And these people are like up and down and all around the entire time.
I bet you they're not falling asleep.
I bet you they're not. And it's probably good for some ADD. Keeps your wiggles out.
I know. Maybe I should have done that.
It says confession, where you list your sins and still forget the one you came to say. Oh, I don't know. So confession is an interesting thing. So they have space, those little booths.
Right? You see them in movies. That's
see them in movies.
I've had.
Like I've never, where you go in and you confess your sins. But confession's kind of coming back in a lot of realms, that we don't have confession enough, like where we share it, not like with a priest, but in a community of friends, you know, like confess something. And we do talk about how there's something very powerful about speaking something out loud. It takes Satan, the power that Satan has, you know, when it stays secret away from him when we confess those things to one another. But I don't know if that's really the same vibe as like
I
just
do not
a
think it
booth
is.
behind a window curtain versus like telling it to like a small group of people that you do life with.
Right. People
Very
that know
different.
your heart, people
Yeah.
that know the peripheral of your life, not
Yeah.
just this rando in the booth.
Yeah, that like has to tell you. It's like when your parent gives you your mom or dad gives you a compliment and you're like, yeah, but you have to tell me that because you're my mom. But if somebody else tells you the same thing, it means so much more.
Uh-huh.
Which is dumb, but that's just how it is.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
It says you can attend for 20 years and still occasionally be like, wait, what are we doing right now?
So if you are going to a Catholic church, you might be confused, but so is everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then that, you know, Episcopal and Anglican are sort of Catholic adjacent. They're if you looked at Catholic as Baptist, then you've got Episcopal and Anglican as sort of the Methodist.
They're cousins.
Of the Catholics.
They're the Catholics'
They're
cousins.
Catholic light, but
Okay.
make it classy, kind of. Beautiful liturgy. I mean, we attended an Episcopal church for like a year recently, in the past few years. Thoughtful prayers. And then it says, and someone in the back who's just here for the architecture. Which ours wasn't just like a regular church, but it says equal parts reverence, and we're not entirely sure either, but it's meaningful. And that is interesting that that's a stereotype. What was so great about the Anglican church that we attended was at the beginning of every service, they spoke to a different, I guess, tradition or element of the service that they did and explained why.
Oh.
For like the meaning, like we don't just do this to do it. There's a meaning behind it. And every single week we learned like the deeper meaning behind,
That's pretty cool.
which gave it reverence. And so I think it's cool that maybe they acknowledge this stereotype and they're trying to diffuse it, you know?
Right.
So again, depends on the church. All right. Do you know Pentecostal and charismatic? I've never been to a Pentecostal charismatic church.
Okay. So I think I've had a little taste of this.
Okay.
I feel as though, yes. Is that a holiness church?
I don't.
Okay.
All I know is when I think this, I think of
Singing and dancing.
singing and dancing and tongues and
snake charming.
snakes. So that's what I think of. But like, I'm not sure. But it's so interesting because going to a non-denominational, when we would invite people to our church that's non-denominational, they would be like, they would think it was charismatic. And they were like, do y'all like dance and like talk about weird things and have snakes and stuff and dance in the aisles? And I was like, no, that is not what we do at non-denominational.
So my family member was visiting and really wanted me to go to church.
Yeah.
And I finally, after 2 weeks, relented. And it was a Sunday night.
Okay.
And she said, well, everyone wears skirts. I said, well, I don't. So I
love
wore
it.
pants, and I was the only one wearing pants. And you also covered all of your skin. So you wore long sleeves because if someone saw your arm, you might be tempting somebody
I don't
sexually.
know if this is.
No, this is the Pentecostal one.
Oh, okay.
But this could be like a cousin of the Pentecostal, like the Holiness Church Pentecostal.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe that was
I'm
like
not-
what her Holiness Church did. And then she brought me to a Pentecostal. But I was the only one wearing pants. And when they get the Spirit...
The only woman wearing pants.
Right.
The men didn't wear skirts.
Right. Oh, no, thank God.
Just checking.
Yeah, that's true.
I've never been.
When you... you're so funny. When someone gets the Spirit, when the Spirit falls upon them, then they just dance. And like it's just
like
dancing
David
in the
Bible.
Right.
I mean,
And then my sister's like, at one point I was like, what is happening right now? And she said, oh, this is nothing. I've seen the pastor run on the church pews.
oh,
I was like, well,
Okay.
I'm sorry I missed that one. It was fascinating. And you like probably holiness plus the Pentecostal combination happening there.
Yeah.
But she got up every morning at 5:30 to pray for an hour and a half. for all of us, because we were all lost, because it's only the book of Acts. You read the book of Acts. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you're not anywhere else really in Scripture.
Do you know the book of Acts?
I mean, I hope you know.
What does it say about that in Acts?
It says, if the sermon's not hitting, don't worry, someone in the back will. I guess that's your fellow that catches the spirit. No, I mean, I think it would be so interesting. And I do think that there are people, I think there is a beautiful freedom that people must feel. I mean, I just remember back in the day, like growing up Methodist, and then when Matt and I first started dating and going to church and got married, we tried the contemporary service.
Uh-huh.
That was off campus of our traditional Methodist church downtown. We were so uncomfortable because it was just not what we had known. Like, people were singing and they weren't hymns and their hands were in the air. And now, like, that's what I can't even sing a hymn anymore. It drives me crazy.
Right.
I need to sing a worship song with my hands in the air. And so I just think it's what you're used to. Like, good for those people. Like, I'm probably not going to be the one today, at least, who is going to be dancing and running on the pews. But good for those people if they're feeling the Spirit.
Yeah, I mean, I went to the bathroom and this lady goes, "Is that your?" Because you write your name in as a visitor, right? And it's a thing. Like, they announced that she was visiting from another state. And I'm like, "What is happening right now?"
Oh, wow!
And they're like, "I can just see the Spirit on your sister." I'm like, "That's amazing. Get me out of this bathroom."
You're like,
I'm not sure, but I have another friend who grew up Pentecostal.
I don't know who the Spirit is, but it's really scary.
Right? I have another friend who's Pentecostal. It's like, it's fun, it's wild. I've seen people be healed at yeah.
Well, it says, you came for church, you stayed because no one told you when it would end.
That is the truth.
Does it last?
2.5 hours later.
Okay.
What is happening right now?
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, then we have non-denominational.
That is my experience.
That is mine. And so it says, we're not a denomination. We just have the same logo, lights, and sermon series titles.
That is
so funny. So funny. So on point. Yeah. The pastor dresses like he might preach or launch a startup right after.
Yes. Give me some Vans and some tight jeans.
Tight, skinny jeans and all the things. That's right. Worship band is one song away from a record deal. 100%.
Yep.
Good music. Good, well-dressed pastors, usually with tattoos. I mean, it's a thing.
Especially if you have one visible, so then you're relatable to everyone in the audience.
That's right. So let's, we gotta end it. So let's end it with just a bonus category.
Oh boy.
Let's do the Southern church culture, which we have kind of touched on, briefly throughout. But I think there's a few more things. First of all, let's just re-hit the food. The food is better than the theology. And the theology's pretty good, in the Southern churches. But their food is on point. Like, your beans are cooked with fatback. And your banana pudding has real bananas in it. And there's
whole milk.
I mean, whole milk. And there's butter in your cornbread. And you got the crispy and the thick. I mean, it is legit.
But also, your gossip hour is framed as a prayer request.
Yep. There's that. And bless your heart is either a prayer or a warning. You decide. Has about 12 different meanings.
Facts.
So, and that is so true. Like, there is never, that bless your heart can have 12 different meanings. Wow. We should do something on that. That would be funny. And someone's grandma usually has more authority than the senior pastor.
Also facts.
In the Southern church.
Yeah.
Those staple families that have been there forever, like, that's the reason that there is a fellowship hall, because their family paid for it.
Right. And then they have a church pew. I was in a funeral not long ago, and there were pillows and blankets because they were saving their seats for Sunday.
Oh my gosh.
They were still sitting in the pews.
Oh, wow.
And it was a Thursday.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have a favorite spot.
And I tell you what, it's in the country in North Carolina. I was like, what's going on? People forgot. They're like, no, they're saving their seat.
I mean, what better place to save a seat?
That's true. Heaven.
Better, yes, there's that. But better than a concert or a basketball game. At least they're they're taking their time and saving their seat at church. Well, I mean, we're all one body in Christ, right? I mean, we are. But let's be honest, we've all got different personalities. And there's something for all of us. And some of them are just, most of us, are just plain hilarious.
Right. We are hilarious.
I mean, the point is, none of that stuff, it all comes down to salvation. It really just comes down to one, the facts, like the whole Easter thing. Do you believe that Jesus is the Son of God, that he died, that he rose again? That's the gist. That's the bottom line out of all those denominations and all those sects and all those, sects of religion and things like that.
Yeah.
Just the bottom line. The other stuff is just, I don't know if it's icing on the cake.
It's the layers.
It's the clutter of the world. It's the clutter of the world added to salvation.
Right.
Anyway, maybe this helps you. I mean, maybe I need to try a Reformed church and see what that's like. I mean, I won't go. Maybe I'll just listen to a message online.
I feel like you need the full experience.
Maybe I'll experiment with that and report back just out of curiosity.
Check out a Pentecostal church for funsies.
That would be fun too.
Yeah.
But, sometimes the stereotypes are good things.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was fun.
It was.
A little different. If you have another fun, kind of crazy, or just silly topic or something you're interested in, we'd love to pick it apart.
Yes.
Dive into it. So send it our way. We're always looking to interject some fun, lighthearted stuff into our very serious podcast.
Facts.
Yeah. But life is hard and serious, so sometimes it's fun to stop and giggle at ourselves.
Yeah. Like if we can't laugh at ourselves, life's going to be really hard.
We're never going to make it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us this week on The Sinner and the Saint.